Northern California is packed with small towns that feel like stepping into a storybook. We're talking about places with incredible coastlines, towering redwoods, gold rush history, and views that will make your jaw drop. Today, we're counting down 15 of the most charming small towns in Northern California. These are perfect for family road trips, weekend getaways, or just escaping the city for a while. Let's dive in. Starting us off at number 15 is Grass Valley. This little gold rush town sits in the Sierra Nevada foothills, and it has managed to keep that old-timey feel without being cheesy about it. The downtown area is full of Victorian buildings, local shops, and restaurants that actually serve good food. The Empire Mine State Historic Park is a must-visit here. You can explore old mine shafts and learn what life was like for miners back in the 1800s. The town also hosts a fantastic farmers market, and there are hiking trails everywhere you look. What makes Grass Valley special is that it feels authentic. People actually live and work here. It's not just a tourist trap dressed up to look old. But wait until you see our next town. It has a beach unlike anything you've ever seen before. Number 14 takes us to the coast with Fort Bragg. Fort Bragg sits right on the Pacific Ocean in Mendocino County, and it has this wonderful working-class charm that sets it apart from fancier coastal towns. The harbor is still active with fishing boats coming and going. The big attraction here is Glass Beach. Decades of dumped glass have been polished smooth by the ocean waves, creating a beach covered in colorful sea glass. We spent 2 hours there, hunting for the prettiest pieces and still didn't want to leave. You can also catch the skunk train here, which takes you through redwood forests on historic railway. Coming in at number 13 is Murphy's. Tucked away in the Sierra foothills, Murphy's calls itself the Queen of the Sierra, and honestly, it earns that title. The main street is lined with tasting rooms, boutiques, and restaurants, all housed in buildings from the Gold Rush era. Murphy's is close to some amazing natural attractions. Calavera's Big Tree State Park is just up the road, where you can walk among giant sequoias that are thousands of years old. Moaning Cavern is nearby too, perfect for anyone who wants to explore underground. The town itself is walkable and relaxed. You can spend a whole afternoon just wandering around and grabbing ice cream. Now, the next town on our list might just be the most photographed small town in all of Northern California. Number 12 brings us to Ferndale, one of the most picture-perfect Victorian towns you'll ever see. Ferndale sits in Humboldt County, surrounded by dairy farms and rolling green hills. The entire downtown is a National Historic Landmark because nearly every building has been preserved from the Victorian era. We're talking colorful painted ladies, ornate trim work, and storefronts that look like they belong in a movie. The town is famous for its creamery, where you can watch cheese being made and sample the results. There's also a quirky kinetic sculpture museum that's surprisingly fascinating. Ferndale feels like time stopped here about 100 years ago, but in the best possible way. At number 11, we have Dunsmuir. This tiny railroad town sits along the Sacramento River, surrounded by mountains and forests. It has maybe 3,000 people, but what it lacks in size, it makes up for in character. Dunsmuir is paradise if you love fishing. The Upper Sacramento River is famous for trout, and you can cast a line right in town. Mossbury Falls is a hidden gem nearby, a stunning waterfall that pours right out of a mossy hillside. The downtown area has this cool vintage vibe with antique shops and old school diners. Mount Shasta looms in the background, making everything feel a little more magical. Here's where things get interesting. Our next town sits in wine country, but it's not what you'd expect. Number 10 is Healdsburg, right in the heart of wine country. Now, I know Healdsburg has gotten more upscale over the years, but it still has genuine small-town charm at its core. The central plaza is the perfect gathering spot. There's a gazebo, benches, shade trees, and shops all around the square. The old-fashioned candy shop and bookstore are worth checking out. So are the tasting rooms and restaurants. And everyone agrees the bakeries are incredible. What keeps Healdsburg grounded is that it's still a real community. Locals walk their dogs around the plaza. People ride bikes to get ice cream. It hasn't completely lost itself to tourism. Number 9 is Nevada City. Nevada City is Grass Valley's neighbor, and some would say its rival for most charming gold rush town. The downtown here is absolutely gorgeous with gas lamps, winding streets, and Victorian buildings climbing up the hillside. This town goes all out for holidays. The Victorian Christmas celebration is legendary, but even on a random Tuesday in June, Nevada City has this creative, artistic energy that makes it special. There are gold panning spots nearby and swimming holes in summer. The town is also packed with unique shops, including toy stores and candy shops worth exploring. Now get ready, because our next town has something that erupts every 40 minutes. I'm not kidding. Number 8 takes us back to wine country with Calistoga. Calistoga has a different feel than the other Napa Valley towns. It's more laid back and has this quirky roadside attraction vibe thanks to the geothermal activity in the area. The Old Faithful geyser erupts about every 40 minutes, and it never gets old watching it. You can also visit the petrified forest, where ancient redwoods were turned to stone by volcanic ash millions of years ago. Talk about a science lesson coming to life. Downtown Calistoga is walkable and fun with ice cream shops and cafes. The hot springs are the real draw though. You can find places to enjoy the warm mineral waters, even if you're not staying at a fancy spa. Coming in at number 7 is Half Moon Bay. This coastal town is close enough to San Francisco for a day trip, but feels a world away from city life. The main street is charming with local shops, seafood restaurants, and bakeries. Half Moon Bay is famous for pumpkins. The annual pumpkin festival draws huge crowds, but even if you visit other times of year, there are always farm stands and you pick opportunities. We've made it a fall tradition. The coastal trail is great for biking, and the tide pools are perfect for exploring. You can also watch surfers tackle massive waves at Mavericks Beach from a safe distance. You might think wine country towns are all about grown-up stuff, but number 6 will change your mind. Number 6 is St. Helena. This Napa Valley town manages to be upscale without being pretentious, which is harder than it sounds. The main street is lined with shops and restaurants in historic buildings. There are olive oil tasting rooms, artisan food shops, and galleries. The Bale Grist Mill State Historic Park is worth the drive. You can see a working water-powered mill from the 1800s. The surrounding area has hiking, picnic spots, and swimming holes. St. Helena feels sophisticated, but still welcoming. You won't feel out of place no matter who you bring along. At number 5, we have Carmel by the Sea. Carmel is like a fairy tale village that someone built right on the Pacific Ocean. The cottages look like they belong in a storybook. There are no street addresses, no chain restaurants, and no parking meters. Dogs are welcome everywhere. The beach is spectacular. Wide, white sand with dramatic rocks and crashing waves. You could spend hours here just playing in the sand and taking in the views. Walking through town is an experience in itself. The architecture is whimsical, the courtyards are hidden, and every turn reveals something charming. Yes, it's touristy, but it's also genuinely magical. The next town on our list is just a ferry ride from San Francisco, and it feels like you've landed in a completely different country. Number 4 is Sausalito. Just across the Golden Gate Bridge from San Francisco, Sausalito feels like a Mediterranean village somehow ended up in California. The hillside houses, the waterfront promenade, the houseboats bobbing in the harbor. It all just works. The Bay Area Discovery Museum is a must-visit. It's hands-on, it's outdoors, and it has incredible views of the Golden Gate Bridge. The ferry ride from San Francisco is half the fun. Downtown Sausalito has ice cream shops, candy stores, and restaurants with waterfront views. You can rent bikes and ride along the bay. Coming in at number 3 is Mendocino. Perched on a headland above the Pacific, Mendocino looks like a New England village got lost and ended up on the California coast. The white church steeples, the wooden water towers, the wildflower-covered bluffs. It's stunning. The town itself is full of art galleries, bookshops, and cafes. There are no chain stores here. Everything is locally owned. The dramatic coastline offers hiking, whale watching, and some of the most beautiful scenery in the state. The beaches around Mendocino are perfect for exploring. Tide pools, sea caves, and driftwood make it easy to lose track of time out there. Now, our top 2 towns might surprise you, especially number 1. Number 2 is Sonoma. The Sonoma Plaza is the largest town square in California, and it's surrounded by historic buildings, tasting rooms, restaurants, and shops. You could spend an entire day just exploring what's around the plaza. The Mission is worth visiting for the history. The cheese shops and bakeries are worth visiting for the snacks. The old-fashioned toy stores and bookshops add a nice touch too. What I love about Sonoma is that it hasn't been completely polished. It still has rough edges, working farms, and real people going about their lives. This is a place where you can slow down and actually enjoy being together. And our #1 most charming small town in Northern California is Pacific Grove. Pacific Grove sits on the Monterey Peninsula, and it might just be the most underrated town in the whole state. Victorian homes line the streets. Monarch butterflies migrate here by the thousands. The coastline is rugged and beautiful. Unlike its flashier neighbor Carmel, Pacific Grove is quieter and more affordable. Lovers Point Beach is perfect for swimming and picnicking. The tide pools at Asilomar are incredible for exploring. The Monarch Butterfly Sanctuary is free and unforgettable during migration season. Downtown has coffee shops, bookstores, and antique shops. The pace is slow. The people are friendly. The natural beauty is everywhere you look. Pacific Grove proves that charm doesn't require crowds or high prices. Sometimes the best places are the ones that haven't been discovered yet. So those are 15 of the most charming small towns in Northern California. But here's the thing. We've been researching another list that might actually top this one. Small towns that almost nobody talks about. Hidden gems that locals have kept secret for years. That video is coming very soon. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it.